I am Lorraine Moody Reed and will be looking at a particular topic, an issue or problem related to low literacy level of grade 7 students at Albion Primary and Junior High School. The context of the problem relates to low reading and writing skills, non-mastery skills in all standardized grade 6 achievement test scores, and overall low academic performance and communication skills. In looking at archival data from 2008 to 2011, 107 students scored below mastery, which is 0 to 39%. 2009, 49 of 50 students scored non-mastery, 51 of 54 in 2010, and 21 of 22 in 2011. In looking at placement scores in comprehension also from 2008-2011, 83 of those 107 students scored below mastery. 41 of 50 students also scored below mastery, and 39 of 54 and 13 of 22. This bar chart here reflects mastery, near mastery, and non-mastery scores. If we see this red bar here, we notice that it is non-mastery scores, and it reflects a high percentage of over 80% of students between 2008-2009. What we notice, however, as some intervention took place, the blue bar, which represents near mastery, and the orange bar here, which represents mastery, gradually increases as this red bar decreases. Also, we noticed from the scores or from the profiles of the students that parents were basically from low income group. We notice a wide margin here coming from vendors. Then we had just a few professionals here in the blue section, then semi-skilled workers for this red section, and manual laborers, another large section here, and we had parents who were even unemployed. The findings therefore reflect that the grade 6 achievement test scores between 2008 to 2011 were very poor, with students scoring below 40%, representing non-mastery. The internal end-of-year test scores also represented a high level of non-mastery. Parents were mainly from low-income groups, and there was a trend that low literacy was likely to negatively affect performance across the curriculum. The vision of the school being to develop optimally rounded students with proficient literacy skills for career and life, to create students who were able to critically analyze information and communicate in understandable terms, not just for now but to be lifelong learners, and to ensure that there was collaboration with all stakeholders. The guiding question therefore is, how can grade 7 students achieve higher levels of literacy? Having looked at ethical concerns, data collection and analysis, and proposed solutions, it was necessary to have a plan. Let's look at what some theorists or findings suggest. Data in 2010 argued that children from disadvantaged homes may lag behind more affluent peers. Learning theorists like Jean Piaget argue that children develop meaning out of their environment. John Dewey also felt that students learn based on their cognitive development. Louis Vygotsky also believed that cognitive development is aligned to cultural and social interaction. The proposed solution, therefore, has to do with improving literacy, looking at factors affecting literacy, and working with teachers through staff development. Having looked at some researchers, it is suggested that reading represents more than the ability to read and write. It has to do with the involvement of students in whatever is happening. There should be interaction. There is also the fact that students must be able to understand the information, and to communicate what is learned in effective ways. Literacy, therefore, extends beyond the classroom. Let's look at this.
This is our world. Digital technology, constant networking, instant gratification, global connectedness, different stimuli than previous generations. This is how people live their lives.
This is our education system.
Everything about global warrior is literacy, even though, yes, we're focusing on STEM, but literacy is involved in everything because they're doing all the research, they're reading the tutorials, they're writing their blogs. You just can't get away from it.
A typical global warrior class is when we usually come in, read for 30 minutes, then blog.
These video clips highlighted that literacy is more than just reading and writing. It involves speaking, listening, viewing, visual representation. And literacy facilitates life skills not just limited to school, but beyond school. We therefore have to look at activities how to develop literacy. Strategic workshops are important in developing reading skills. We need to look at workshops and seminars through PTA in developing out-of-school literacy with corporate entities, monitoring of assessment results and teachers' instructional delivery, as well as report days to facilitate conferencing of individual students' progress, and of course awards or incentive for significant literary improvement. Let's look at this video clip that has to do with development of literacy.
I'm Sue Palmer, one-time primary teacher and head teacher, but for the last 20 years or so, a literacy specialist, writing books and travelling around the country talking about the teaching of writing, especially writing across the curriculum. I've always been fascinated by the interface between language, literacy and learning. How do children learn? How does language help them? And how can we ensure they all have access not just to the spontaneous language of speech, but to the more complex, coherent, sophisticated patterns of written language?
Here are some live links that we can look at. Google Scholar is usually a very good site that we could go to. Okay, we have seen what a number of researchers have talked about achievement through constructive approach, improving literacy, and a number of other things that we could look at. This is another website, another link that we could look at that continues to focus on effective literacy and improving literacy instructions. We therefore have to find a way to ensure that literacy is attained through collaboration.